All right, you guys, it is Monday today. It is a lower body strength and core day. Now, this week we are going to be switching it up a little bit as we are taking Friday off from our class because it is Christmas Day on Friday, although we will be having a workout on Christmas Eve morning if you are down to join. That being said, we are going lower body today, upper body tomorrow, and then we are going into 2 full body days to finish off the week. So the format and what we're pairing together might be a little bit different, but it's going to be great, and let's get it started. So we're starting off with a warm-up for the workout itself today. You'll note I am not wearing shoes because we are not going to be jumping around doing any cardio today, focusing just on strength. Specifically, I will be using this towel. We're going to be working with some hamstring curls, these loop bands right here, and then tucked underneath my chair, which will come into play, are my 8-pound dumbbells. So you pretty much need everything, okay? And your body, which you can start by bringing down onto the floor here and having a seat in your 90-90 position that we know and love. So we'll get down here, getting 90 degrees going at both of our knees, trying to sit as upright as possible. If we can't move, you know the drill. You can lean back if you need to. We'll keep the feet in place and flip the knees back and forth, going through 10 of these total. Again, this should be relatively comfortable. You might feel a little tight going through your first few, but it should not be painful. And if it is, just lean back. You can put your hands back behind you. Eventually, you'll be able to do this with no hands, though, in time. So we'll do 10 total. And then once you're done 10, we're going to lay on our back. Am I cut out? No, I'm not. We are laying on our back here for some rotations. We're all the way literally on our back. We will lift up one leg, grabbing that knee with our opposite hand. This guy can just stay on the floor. We'll pull it all the way over, trying to exhale as we do so. Inhaling, bringing it back to center. Put it back down. We'll pick up the other side. Again, inhale. And then we'll exhale, and hopefully you have more room than me because my wall's in the way. I'm just going to scooch over a little bit. And then we'll exhale and try to get that leg, knee as close to the floor as possible. We're doing 10 of these total. You can go through 5 per side. Again, really trying to use that breath, exhaling into it, seeing if you can get that knee close to the floor or closer than your first couple reps. So we will alternate sides, right side, left side. Hopefully you guys are digging the Christmas decorations. If you guys can't tell, my mom has a bit of a thing for nutcrackers. I don't know if you can see them. They're everywhere. They're all over the living room. I love it though. It feels very Christmassy finally. Okay, so we'll get 10 of these, and then we are standing up to the top. You guys can join me at the very front of your mat, standing hip width apart in our feet. We'll step back into a lunge, sending both of our arms above our head, alternating right side and then left side, sending both those arms up as we go down. And we are doing 10 of these, just normal, standard step back lunge with the reach. Once you're done 10, we have 10 more with one turn in towards the knee. So we're still alternating. We'll turn in once, trying to keep those arms as straight as possible. And we will count out 10 of those now, 5 per side, with one turn in towards that front knee. Let's do it, let's do it. There it is. Okay, so loosening up all of the things in the hips, in the legs. Okay, all right, so let's get it going on here, you guys. 10 and 10. And then we are going to grab onto our band because we're going to use it for these next activation exercises that we're going through. So if you do not have a loop band like this, I'm using a medium strength one. You actually don't need one. You can do this without a band, but preferably I do want you to have a band, a light one or a medium one. We're going to put it on around our heels, around our ankles like this, and start off with our 3-point extension. So this is the one we're going to shift all of the weight into one of our legs. So we're essentially balancing right here, and then we'll hinge our hips by pushing our hips back behind us and loading up that standing leg that we're balancing on. We'll kick out to the side, back on a 45, and then straight back, counting every one of those reps, going through 15 total. So I'm going 3 points behind me, out on that angle, beside me, and I'm counting all of them, okay? Don't worry about which one is which. You can't take every single one. 15 total. Once you get to 15, you will stop and then switch and do the other side. So again, if you have to kind of load up, push the hips back, get into that same nice, strong starting position. And we'll go through now 15. Now you'd think in this one that you'd be feeling that kicking leg, that moving leg, but it's actually the standing leg that's getting the work here. So you can think about that, stabilizing over here, trying to keep it still. Okay, so you should be burning fire in the hips, starting to brew. We'll come over to one side of the mat, hip width apart, soft knees, stick the butt behind us so that we feel tight in the backside. Step wider than hip width, wider, hip width, and we're going all the way down the length of the mat till we get down to that one side, and then we'll go back. And we're doing this 3 times just to reinforce that feeling that you're getting in your hips that started in those extensions. So we should be feeling work in the sides of our hips. Again, if you don't have a band, you are following along doing the same thing. You might not feel it quite as much without the band, but as long as you are staying loaded and thinking about all that stuff, you will feel it back there. Okay, so we'll go 3 times. And again, there and back equals 1, okay? 3. Once you are done, we have 2 more that are down on the floor. Now, because you can, it's a little bit easier, you can move the band up while you're standing, or if you want to do it while you're sitting, that's fine. But we're going to put the band up around just above our knees, and then get ourselves onto our back, into our bridging position for the last 2. So first things first, we want to swish our low back into the floor so it's nice and tight down here. You can feel work happening in your core. We have our hands on the floor, feet are hip width apart, and the knees are hip width apart. We're going to drive up, open up the knees once, reset, lower the hips, touching the lower back, not the back of your butt, and we'll do that 10 times to start. So we're never letting the knees come closer than this standard position that they're in. They're only going to go wider at the very top. Okay, wider, reset, and then we go down, and we'll go through 10 of these with that 1 abduction at the top, that opening movement at the top, 10 times. And then once you're done with 10 with the combo, we will hold here, and we're going to go 10 of them, just like this. Okay, so take your time with them. We should feel like we're at the very top of that hip bridge, and then we'll go through 10 of these, and never allowing those knees to come any closer than where we start. Okay, that is important, and with or without the band. So we'll get that in. Wow, we should be feeling the back of our hips. Once we're done that, you guys can stand yourself back up to the top once you are done. Whew. And we are going to get you started here on, we are going back to back in our split squats. So I'm going to move my chair sideways here, position it for my rear foot elevated split squat, where I'll have that chair here elevating my back foot. We're going to be lowering and lifting ourselves, working off of this here timer. You guys are going to be working with 60 seconds per side, okay? So we're doing 1 minute of split squats, not a certain amount of reps, okay? We're just working for 1 minute, 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the next side, of 4 times total, and then we are done the split squats, okay? For today, for the workout, we're gonna move on to the next 2 once we're done those 4 sets. Now the thing here is that there is no rest in between. This timer is just going to beep every minute, so we really do have to hustle in switching sides, right side, left side, so that we don't miss out on this minute of split squats, okay? So let's set ourselves up here. I'm gonna move my chair. Now for most of us, I'm going to presume that we will not need too much resistance. Now, if you want to add weights, if you want to add bands, please feel free to do so. But if you're kind of thinking in the back of your head, like, wow, split squats are hard to begin with, and you just said I have to do them 1 minute per side, you can start off with body weight if you want. You will have 4 opportunities to do this per side, okay? So I am going to press start on this timer in about 10 seconds. So set yourself up. And if you want to grab onto your weights, you can either hold your dumbbells down by your sides. You can loop that band underneath your foot. Sorry, I'm just setting this timer here. That's just reset to 40 and 20, and that is not the right time. Okay, so are you ready for this? As ready as you're ever going to be. Now, if you don't have the chair, you know the drill. Your foot is on the floor. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. That nice, loud starting beat. So again, we have that back foot where our shoelaces would be up on that chair, up on that bench. We are lowering down to 90 degrees, lifting up all the way, standing nice and tall at the top, trying to push the hips back rather than drive the knee forward. So we want to stick the butt out. If you have the weights, they're down by your sides, all right? Or if you want, you can anchor that band around a foot like this. You are halfway through. You got 30 seconds left. Oh yeah, the minute long split squats. We have been here before. It's been a hot minute though since we've done this. So don't be surprised at how you feel. 20 seconds left. Okay, keep going on this one. Same side. And trying to exhale on the way up. The hard part. A couple more of these. You got this. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and we will switch sides. So right away you can just switch the positioning of your feet, and we'll go right into our first set on that second side, working with these split squats. Now this first set is really our tester set. We're trying to really see what we are going to be able to do in this minute. Some of us are just going to follow a normal tempo, 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up, most likely holding weights in your hands, maybe that band underneath your foot. For some of us, that is going to be extremely challenging. We won't be able to hold the weights, okay? We're just gonna follow that normal tempo without the weight. For others, it might be kind of easy, okay? Regardless of what you're holding in your hands, what you need to do if you wanna make this harder on your next set, okay, because you have 3 more. Second one starts in 10 seconds. We can incorporate a slower tempo, or add a pause at the bottom, okay? I don't want you to do both. I want you to pick one. If you felt like this set here, if you kind of finish, okay, switch back to the first side. If you feel like you can kind of keep going on that side, I don't want that. We want you done by the end of this minute, okay? So if you want to make it a bit more challenging, you can sink down and hold with the weights, with the band, whatever you're using. Spend a second or 2 at the bottom, or we can simply slow down the lowering phase, how long it takes us to get down there. All right, 30 seconds. Most of us will not need to do any of that though, because it's really hard to begin with. All right, so we'll keep working through this. Remember, once you are done all these split squats, you are done for the day. 20 seconds left. For the week, actually, there are no more split squats in any of the sessions this week. Yay! 10 seconds. Good work, you guys. Breathe through this. 3, 2, 1, and we will switch sides. Very nice. Okay, so whatever you did on that first side, we need it over here. Okay, so if you made it a little bit more challenging, you went slower, whatever you did, take it over here. Try to keep it as even as possible. Although one side might be feeling a little harder than the other. It's all good. Nice job, guys. 30 seconds left. So chest up nice and high. Very good. And that breath is your power. If you feel like you're not going to make it, try to exhale. See if that helps you get through those last few reps. Okay, so we'll go through about 3 more on this side. Oh yeah, 10 seconds left. You got this. Split squat city to start. Come on. 3, 2, 1, and switch sides. All right, here we are again. Back to the first side for set number 3, which means we are approaching more than halfway there. So we'll try our best to keep it even, as consistent as we can as per those first 2 sets. I know you're getting more tired, and I know this is starting to creep up on you. Maybe it didn't sound so bad. Maybe it did sound just as bad as it is. I don't know. But 60 seconds of these split squats should never be easy, okay? Because you are making it hard for yourself, whether you are simply just going through the normal tempo and doing this in that time, going a little bit slower. 20 seconds left. There you go. Second last time that you have to do this over here. Got it. Okay, 10 seconds. Very nice. 3, 2, 1, and we will switch sides. Okay, so let's get it going on set number 3 on our second. So we have 1 more set after this. Okay, 1 more time on each side, then Split squats are done, which is great news. I know it is. Okay. Halfway, 30 seconds left. We'll take our sweet time and trying to push our hips behind us. This is a glute-focused exercise, especially if you are doing with the back foot elevated. This should be feeling in this front back side here. So we'll try to think about that. 15 seconds left. Just going to take us into our final set. All right. Okay, my friends. Last set starting in 3, 2, 1. And here we are, final set. So switch back to that first set. I know you really don't want to, okay? Maybe your body doesn't want to. But we are gonna do it anyways, okay? Finish with everything that we have on these split squats, knowing that we will be done once we are finished this final set. And this is just 1 minute per side. I mean, you guys know how quickly 2 minutes goes in real life. Maybe not when you are split squatting, but we will still try to get through it. Exhaling through those reps. You're halfway through this side. You got this. There it is. Okay, so just focus on getting through this. 20 more seconds left. All right, that's about 4 to 5 more of these reps. Take them nice and slow. All right, you'll be there. And you won't even, no, 10 seconds left. Woo! All right, last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and switching sides. Nice job. All right, last side, last set, and then I am turning this timer off for now. All right, let's do it. Split squats, final set of them. There you go. Strong finish, just as strong as you started. 30 seconds left until we are done these, which we can all agree is good news. There you go. Okay, breathe through them, especially these last ones. Okay, 20 more seconds. There it is. All right, 10 seconds left. Almost there. Keep going. Don't stop yet. Not till you hear this loud beat. 3, 2, 1, and split squats are done. Okay, nice work. Hopefully you feel good. I mean, you probably don't. You probably feel quite tired and fatigued and very done with split squats, and that is good news because we are going to move on to the next 2, working with a superset, combining 2 exercises, pairing them back to back. I'm going to give you guys reps to count in these ones. We are going to complete 4 sets total. You will need this chair here because one of the exercises is hip thrusts. Although that one is our second one, you're going to go into the first one, which is our single deadlift to reverse lunge. It's our combo move. Now I'm going to be using my dumbbells, specifically 2 of them, 1 in each hand like this, standing on that one leg, shifting all the weight, soft knee, working with that single leg deadlift, tapping into the balance, and then we'll step back into the lunge, trying to drive up so we're not touching the foot down onto the floor in between each rep. And we are doing 8 of these per side. So that was 1, the deadlift plus the lunge, that's 2. Oh, we know these. Okay, so you guys can start here with me. We're counting out 8 per side. And if you do not have dumbbells, you are using your band, preferably underneath your foot, like this. Like this, okay? Plant in the face. All right, and then you'll work with, again, the deadlift, and then the lunge, okay? And we're doing 8 per side. So we've been working on these, trying to really tap into the strength in these. I've been giving you guys some lower rep ranges on them, so hopefully you are feeling stronger in this single deadlift to lunge. That being said, if you want to challenge yourself in them, you can channel that skater squat on the lunge, so the deadlift is the same. And then if you want to make this part a bit harder, we can think about doing more of a skater squat rather than a lunge itself. And that is especially if you are limited on equipment, if you don't have any weights, if you don't have any bands, anything like that, and or you're just feeling like these are getting a little bit easy. Okay, if you do that, they will not be easy. All right. Okay, so we're doing that on both sides, 8 and 8. Again, the deadlift plus the lunge equals 1. Yes, very nice. Okay, so we'll get it on both sides here. You got it. So with this one, we have our hip thrust. Now I'm going to be holding these weights and bringing them up on my hips before I go down into that hip thrust. So I have them both on here like this. I will lower myself down here. Again, if you guys don't have the chair or the bench, you are working off of the floor, following along, doing the same thing. We have a 1.5 rep hip thrust. So we're going up all the way, down halfway, back up, and that's 1. And we're following that same 8 rep range. So we're not pulsing. We're trying to really intentionally move through half of a rep. So we go up all the way. Normally that full range is all the way down to the bottom here. But on that half, we're going to stop about here. Then we go back up. And then I'll come all the way down. And then up. And that was 1. Okay? So you guys are following through 8 total. All right? The 1 plus the half equals 1 rep. If you don't have the weights, you don't need them. You can do this with your body weights, okay, or bands around your knees if you would like. And we'll just work with a nice strong pelvic tilt, getting a good solid squeeze on your butt, okay? So we'll go through 8 of these total. If you want to make it a bit harder, we can hold at the top. Do not leave the top until you feel some action going on your glutes, okay? You should feel it going on back there. And if you do that, you will get more out of the set. Once you are finished, we are doing it again, okay? Only rest you have is about 30 seconds if you need it. If you want to grab yourself a little bit of water, okay? Just take a second down here to ponder your life, and then we'll stand back up and get going right into our second set. Back into the first one. Deadlift and lunge. Let's get it. Okay. So back into our first combo move, single deadlift into that step back lunge. And trying to really focus all of the work on that front leg. So we're trying not to push ourselves up with the back leg, but rather pull ourselves up. Okay. Let's do it. You got it. Nice work. Okay, so second set. 8 and 8. It is this thread that is like attached to my foot. Here we go. Okay, so we're working through our second set. I'm trying to keep it even on both sides. Woo. Again, tapping into that balance as much as we can, not touching the foot between each rep. So we're trying our best to balance. Okay, trying. There it is. Now, again, if you guys do not have dumbbells, we can add bands around the knees on the hip thrusts. Okay, or if you don't have the chair or the bench, you can take either your dumbbells or your bands and bring them down with you and do this one off of the floor here as well. So we will go same half rep through your 8 reps. Okay, and if you are working off the floor here, same rules apply. We want to feel the lower back be touching, not the back of your hips. Because if the back of your butt is touching, we're probably arching our back like this, which is not doing us any good. Okay. All right. You guys got it going on. Second set. Let's do it. Okay. So we'll move on to our second set of those hip thrusts. There we are. Okay, so take your sweet time. I do encourage you guys again to really tap into that mind to muscle connection. It is important, especially in hip thrusts, because they are a super strong exercise. When we're doing these hip thrusts or these hip bridges, your glutes, the backside is very strong muscles, and so we need to challenge them. So we want to make sure that every single rep you're feeling it back there, and that does take you thinking about it maybe a little bit more than normal. So did you get that work? Okay, so 2 more rounds. Not too bad. So we'll get you guys going on our third set. You can do a quick sip of that H2O, and then we'll try our best just to go right into that set number 3 here, not taking too much rest in between. And back to these deadlift, 2 lunges. Okay, so same thing, the backside focused exercise. We want to be thinking about the glutes. If you are not feeling it back there, if you're feeling a little bit more pressure like in your knees or in the front of the leg here, especially on that lunge, we want to make sure that we are pushing our hips back, not having that knee drive forward like so. So really sticking the butt out. You can even look down. The little trick is making sure that your shin stays upright like this, because if it's on an angle like this, your knee's pushing forward, you're most likely going to feel some pressure in here and not as much work in this muscle because you're not in the right position to have that happen. So if you push back, you'll feel that there, and it'll feel a lot more comfortable on this knee here, which most of us can appreciate, okay? So we'll try to take that into our third and fourth. You guys have 2 more rounds. Do it. Do it. My computer's asking to be plugged in. Okay. All right. Here we are. Set number 3. Let's do it. There it is. Okay, so 8 and 8. Very nice. All right. Third set. Deadlifts and the hip thrust. Okay. So we have 2 more sets. This one more after this to really get the most out of this. Okay, so again, think about it. Every single rep, especially at that full extension when you're at the top here, hold it there, okay? Hold it until you feel some work happening in the back of your hips, and then you can let go. And as you go through your set, especially because we have this little half rep there, it really does crank it up a notch, you won't need to hold it as long because you'll feel it more as you go through the set as those muscles start to get tired. Okay, but your first few reps, you might be holding it up there for 2, 3, maybe even 5 seconds so that you really get that feeling starting from the beginning, and then you build up on it as you go through your set. Okay, so we'll see if we can do that. I've been talking a lot about it, but it is important. All right, we have 1 more set to get this in. Okay, so we're going 1 last round of the dead lift lunges, 8 per side, okay? And again, 8, we've done way more than 8 per side. I think we've worked up to 15 per side on these. So this is a lower rep range. So we really do want to challenge ourselves on them and tap into the strength and make these feel really hard because you could probably do more than 8 per side, okay? So we want to make them feel like we do not want to do more things. 8 is it, all right? It wouldn't be very pretty after 8. So let's do it. Last set. So back into these guys. Deadlift into that lunge. Let's do it. Final set. Final set of these 2. And we're moving on. Perfect timing. Guys have about 5 minutes until we should be starting the last part of the stride. Last set. Let's do it. 8. I know it sounds like a nice number. You know, just go on and double up the reps and add half reps in. All right, so we'll finish up strong here and breathing through these last ones using the exhale will help you. Okay, if you're not going to make it, but I know you will. All right. This is your last set, and we can always seem to motivate ourselves to get through this last set You just keep telling yourselves, this is the last one, last time you have to do this. Usually it allows us to push ourselves a bit harder, or just get through it rather. All right, so let's do it. Final round of our hip thrusts. 8 of them with that half rep in there. You guys have lots of time with it. Okay, I'm going to give you about 2 more minutes until we will start the next part here. And if you are coming to an end, you can just grab yourself some water and clear out some space, because for the last part here, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? This and this. Okay, good luck here. So we'll finish up strong. There we go. Okay, good job. Okay, so if you are done, you can grab yourself some water. You're going to need some space here if you are going to be joining me on the towel hamstring curls that we are going to be working with. Then you need a towel and you need a floor that slides. Now, if you don't have either of those things, that is completely fine, okay? Because I have options, including our dumbbell hamstring curl, where we lay prone on our tummy, hold the dumbbell between our feet, and then pull that dumbbell up, working that same hamstring curl. Now, if you don't have the dumbbell, I have one last option that I will show you guys, which is on the floor here. The reason why I'm explaining this so much right now is because you'll need to kind of set up for this. So I've moved my mat over a little bit so that I have this space here to use for sliding reasons. I will also need this chair though, because we are going to be working with a single leg hip thrust, which is going to start our circuit. We have 3 exercises that we're going to do together. Single leg hip thrust is the first one, which looks a little something like this, okay? You guys have a nice high rep range of 15 per side. So we're working with 15 right over here like this, and then we'll switch and you'll do 15 over here like this. Okay, we know that's gonna burn. All right, if you don't have the chair, you can do this off of the floor. And then we are going to go through 2 more movements with this, but come on down here and let's start this up, okay? So we can get going and get through our sets that we have, okay? Today we are going to be working off of a timer, a time cap. You guys have 12 minutes. I'm going to start it right now as soon as you get going on the set here. And we are going to go through as many rounds as we can of these 3 movements in 12 minutes rather than a specific rep range, okay? So get in here. Let's start this up. 15 per side, and then we will talk about the other 2 once you're done that one, okay? And I'm running around to find my timer because I just pressed start right now. Okay, here we go. So 12 minutes. Now, the reason why we have this time cap today rather than a set rep range or set number of sets that we're going to do is because some of us are going to be going a little bit slower than others. Some of us are going to add pauses. That stuff takes longer, which means you'll get less sets in, but those sets will be more challenging and more beneficial because they'll feel harder within the set. Hopefully that makes sense. But that is the reason why we are working the time cap, the 12 minutes, instead of the 4 sets. Okay, so you'll probably get somewhere between 3 to 5 sets, depending on how quick you go. That being said, I don't want you to go fast, okay? Normal tempo. So 15 and 15 on this first one. I already gave you a teaser for the second one. It's our hamstring curl. So if you're going to be working with the towel one, I have my towel just folded up into this little square here, and I'm going to put both of my heels on the towel like this, lay on my back, bridge, and then I'll try to work with my hamstring curl where I'm pulling in my heels, seeing if I can keep my butt up again. If that makes me feel very unsafe in my hamstrings, I will butt down, pull in, and then push up and just slowly let myself out. Okay, that's where that slow comes into play. If you don't have the towel, if you don't have the sliding floor, okay, option 1 is taking a dumbbell, putting it between your feet as we lay on our tummy and pulling it up to 90 degrees. We've talked about that one. We've been there before. Okay, you're following the same reps, 15. The last option, if you do not have either of those things, is back on your back here, walking your feet away from your hips and doing an extended bridge. So normal bridge, my feet are here. extended bridge. My feet are out here and it's more hamstring focused. Okay, so 15 of them. All right. All right, all right. Let's get it. Very nice. So many options for the hamstrings. Okay, so 15 of them. Ooh, they should be feeling okay, especially after doing those hip thrusts, which never feel like they get easier. They do, they will, but they just never feel like they do. You guys can stand up. We have one more exercise to go with this one. The last one we're going to work with is our deadlift to double calf raise. Woo, welcome back. So we've been at this one before as well. We are going to be holding our dumbbells down by our sides like this, standing in a narrow stance. So my feet are right underneath my hips like so. And I start off by pushing my hips back behind me. And then as soon as my dumbbells are right above my knees, I'll bend my knees and sink into that deadlift. And then I'll stand now, drive the hips forward and push up onto the toes, hovering 2 times. And then I'll go back into this deadlift and we're counting out, 15 of these total. Okay, so let's do it. So you guys are going through the deadlift, and I'm calling it that specifically because it's not a squat, okay? The squat would be your knees coming forward, your butt driving down, but we want the hips back, and the hips should end up sitting above the knees, not in line with the knees. So we want the butt kind of lifted up in the air, and then we'll drive up onto the toes. We get a little bit of balance action, okay? And we're going through 15 of these total. Let's do it. Now, if you guys do not have dumbbells, we can challenge ourselves a bit by holding a band sideways like this in our hands, which is going to add a little bit of balance challenge, a little bit of resistance for our upper body and our back, and overall just to make us feel a bit more tight as we go through this set. So we're going through 15. Now, once you guys are done, you know the drill. You are going again as many times as you can in the 8 minutes, just over 8 minutes that you have left, okay? So again, about 3 to 4 sets, but we're not going to stress out or, race to the finish line to get those amount of sets in. We want to just work with this nice controlled pace, go through these exercises, and let's get it going on. Get done. Get her done. So we're back to this first one, our single leg hip thrust, 15 per side. Now, for those of you who are feeling this is getting a little easy, okay, and I know that might happen to some of us, you can add weight to this. You can take one of your dumbbells, put it on your hips, and just hold it in place with one hand so it doesn't fall off, obviously. But you don't need a lot of weight, okay? So one dumbbell is most likely going to be adequate. Another thing that you can do is increase your range of motion. So you can find something like a stool or something to put your foot up on, and then you'll have your back up, and if this foot is up higher, okay? So if you are, thinking in the back of your head, you are itching to find something to make these a bit more challenging, and that will also apply to the double leg ones, okay? But something that you can try. 15 reps is a lot of reps though, so see how you feel. But you can always try and go back to something easier if you need to. Okay, so we're through that one. The hamstring curls. This mat is just like accumulating all of these little pieces. Okay, so again, if you guys are working with dumbbell hamstring curl, now this one, I really love this one, where you hold the dumbbell between your feet. So you can make it a lot harder by simply just squeezing your feet together harder. Not only does that make it more challenging on your hamstrings, but it also involves the inner thighs. So it's a little bonus action for the legs on that one. So this one here, and we hold a dumbbell between our feet, and then you can just cross your arms over and put your forehead on your wrist like this, and then work with the hamstring curl. And then just be careful when you put it down and pick it up so that you don't drop it and dent your floor. Okay. Woo. Second set. All right, so we're back into the first one. All right. So again, we're working with this deadlift 2 calf raises at the top. Try to balance there. I know it's a little bit easier said than done, but take it nice and slow, especially if you are very challenged by balance. I mean, every day is different. I feel like some days balance, I can just be the balance master, and others I just keep falling over, and so, you know, you never know. But if you are wanting to challenge your balance, simply just go slower, okay? Take your time on that double calf raise, and that is going to make it a lot more challenging than just standing on your toes like that is hard. All right, so under 5 minutes to go. Woohoo! There it is, the little calves. Very nice. Okay. So we are 4 minutes to go. Okay, we have 4 minutes left for you to do your thing. Do these 3 exercises. 4 minutes is just enough time to finish 1 more set. So that's most likely what you're going to have coming up next. 1 last round. After this, we are going to kick it on the floor. We have a core circuit that we will finish our session with today. We are free to go. Finish our Christmas shopping. Get on with that day. All right, 3.5 minutes, my friends. Back to the first one. If you have not started already, you best get to work. Okay, single leg hip thrusts, 15 per side. Woo! Now it's very important on this last set, you get your hips all the way up. So use your exhale, try to exhale and push your hips up. If you feel like they're not quite getting all the way up there, try to breathe and see if you can get them to that full extension here. There it is. Yes. 15 along. Okay. Here they are. Nice work. The legs, the legs, the legs. All right. Final set. Nice work, my friends. We'll breathe through these ones. Oh, yes. Try and keep it even. I know that second side feels harder. Okay, but try to keep it even. Knowing that this is your last one. We have 2 more exercises to go. And then we are essentially laying on the floor. Although we know that part is never easy. But it is laying down, so you know. All right, 2 minutes left. So we're into our second one, the hamstring curl, something that is going to work those hamstrings, back your legs. Do it. Okay. Last round. Have 1.5 minutes left. Hamstring curls. Okay. Last set, you guys. Woohoo! Just over 1 minute to go for the deadlift to double calf raise. That's our last one, and that is most likely where you are right now is either starting or just started this final movement here. So we'll finish strong here, again, trying to focus on the balance because we know that that is part of the deal here. And also we can focus on the back side, pushing our hips back through each rep, okay? All 15 of them, okay? That will take you probably to the very end. You got 45 seconds left. And then we are done this part. Just the last part next. We are all the way done. Okay, so 30 seconds. I am just gonna make sure we're on a timer up next. Good news. Okay, 15 more seconds here on this one. All right, you guys. Da-da-da-da. 5, 4, 3, 2, and the timer is done. Nice work. Okay, no finishing beep. Put my phone on silent. No morning alarm. All right, you guys can grab yourself some water. Nice job. We are going to transition onto the floor where we're going to hang out until the end of the class. Today we are going to be working off of a timer. You guys have 2 exercises that we are going to be doing, and we are working off of this timer here, which is good news. It means you do not have to count what you're doing, you just have to do. What you will need for this part is some space. I am going to be using this towel here for something slidey. I'm actually going to show you so that you know what you need to sit up for. We're going to go like this with our feet on the towel and then pull in and push out like this. Now, if you don't have a towel, it's completely fine. You don't need the towel. You'll just drive in and do like a modified mountain climber instead. But if you do have the towel, okay, then we can pull in. You can also use like a ball, an exercise ball, something like that. Woo, that's going to be the first one, okay? So you guys are going to be working with 30 seconds. Now, the other thing that we'll need for this is space. So if you have your chair or your bench in the way like this, you're going to move it out of the way, okay? Because we're done with it. We don't need it, so put it out of the way so that you have more room, okay? Because you will need that, because the second one is going to be a variation of a side plank, so you'll just need some space for it. So we'll start off with this knee drive, and we will go from there. I'm just kind of getting set up here. Now, in terms of time, you guys are going to be working with 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. So we have that 15 seconds, which is transition time. It's just for us to switch sides, switch exercises, and then we are going through 4 sets total of this very fun stuff, okay? So this is the first one. I'll explain the other one on the timer, and then we're going to do our thing, get through 4 rounds of this, okay? So we'll get into formation for that plank position. Okay, feet on the towel if you have it. If not, you're in the full plank starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right. So you're like this, 90 degrees, straightening out. Very nice. Okay, and if you don't have that towel, we'll pull one knee in at a time like this. All right, you guys have 15 seconds left. And you just keep working through this, keeping those hips nice and stable. Very nice. Okay. So again, assess how you feel. I'm going to give you options to make this harder next set, and we rest. So second one is going to be in our half side plank position, because we're going to be lifting up into this half side plank with the leg lifting like this. So you guys are going to be working with 30 seconds on this side, which starts right now. Okay, so come join me here, 30 seconds. Now, this is too hard. You can bend the leg in. You can always put the foot down and work with just lifting up the knee like this. It's very important that all of us have our hips pushed forward, okay? Now, ideally, I want you to be down on this knee here, because being on the knee is going to give you work on the hip, okay? Okay, so try to hold it like this. See how you feel. 3, 2, 1, and we'll switch sides. Okay, so we're switching, switcheroo. I'm going to actually just turn around so I can still see you guys. Okay, and we'll wait for the beep here. Again, we are going to do this 3 more times. So just see how you feel. We got options on the next set here, including one in a full side plank like this. Okay, so if you are feeling like this is a little bit easy on the 30 seconds, that is something that you can try on the next set, is rather than lifting up from the knee here, lifting up from the foot down here, okay? But we'll talk about that when we get there. Holding this now for 10 more seconds. Once we're done this, we're going back into the first one, those knee drives. Oh yeah, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so second set. Now, if you have a towel, that's pretty hard, one way or another, so just keep working with it. If you do not have a towel, something that you can try in this modified kind of mountain climber is driving the knee in and then opening it up like this. So we drive in, open, and then it's going to slow us down a bit, but it's going to challenge us in our core rather than like going faster or, you know, doing anything else. You're going to get that work in your core here by opening up that knee. And so you can try it. 15 seconds left. Woo, you got this. Breathing through this. Woo, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Hook job. So second set of the half side plank with the leg lift. Woo! Now this is, yes, it's an ab exercise, a core exercise, but it's also a lot of work in the hips, okay? But you're not going to get that if your hips are hanging out kind of back. We want to push the hips forward. You can look down, make sure that your body is straight. And yes, it's going to feel way harder like that because you're actually in that right position to get the work on the side of your hip. That's why I want you there, okay? And that's why you need to hold there. 15 more seconds. 10 now, let's go. Okay, breathing through this. You got it. 3, 2, 1, and we rest. Switch sides. Nice work. Second set, second side. Are you ready? Starting in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Excuse me. So whatever you did on the first side, you know you have to do over here. Okay, keeping it even per set. 20 seconds left. There you go. All right, so we're trying again to get that top leg, that lifted leg moving up and down. If it's too hard, just hold it. Okay, if you need to, that's okay. Less than 10 seconds. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, we're halfway through this. 2 more sets, and we are done. Back to the first one. Again, these knee drives. And if you're using a towel or pulling both knees in, using your body, challenge yourself to doing this opening mountain climber. Okay? But whatever you're doing, we're trying to keep your hips nice and stable, not having them lift as much at all, as little as possible. 15 seconds left. There you go. All the hip work. Let's get it. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Okay. Side plank. Okay, so deep breath. Getting ready. 3, 2, 1, and let's do it. I'm trying to work with this lift, driving the hips forward, breathing in this one. Okay, you want to be looking forward, up towards the ceiling, rather than down towards the forearm. 15 seconds. You got this. 3, 2, 1, and switch sides. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so same thing on the other side. Woohoo. All righty, get ready, get set. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Ding. Very nice. Okay, 50 seconds left. Let's see if we can get that leg lifting. Very nice. 10 more seconds. And keep on breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, last set. Here we are. The last set, the last circuit for today on this Monday. Let's get her done, you guys. First one. Back to the first one, your knee drives. Okay, starting. Ready. Here we go. Let's do it. So we'll try to work through this one here. Strong as we can. Strong finish. Maybe this is the easy one out of the two. I don't know. 10 more seconds left. We'll take it nice and slow. Try to pull our belly button into our spine. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice work. Okay, last set of our side planks, our hip-focused side planks. Okay, so final set. Try to go out with a bang, really challenge ourselves here. Okay, do something that makes us uncomfortable, whether it's lifting this leg, because that's pretty uncomfortable for most of us. Okay, or maybe you're trying to do it in the full side plank. Okay, that's also extremely uncomfortable. So we'll try to go for 20 more seconds, something that we can manage but that you don't really want to, okay? But you do it anyways. 10 seconds left. That's what we need right now. So close. 3, 2, 1, and switch sides. Okay, now whatever you did over there, that thing you just did, you feel very good. But you're going to feel very good once you're done. We're going to do it again over here. Okay, 30 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Lift it up. Let's do it. Okay, you have to keep it even, which means you need to do this side. All right, 20 seconds, and then you are done. This and all of it for today. Woohoo! 15 seconds. You still got this. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Strong finish. Don't give up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now you can stop and you can rest and you can drop down. And we are done. Woo! Hopefully you guys feel good. That was not easy. But you are done now, and if you don't feel good yet, you will once we are done with these stretches that we are going to go into. Starting off with our hips, because wow, we did a lot of work in our hips from that core work to those exercises. So come on up here and join me in this half kneeling position where we're going to get this nice stretch on the hip flexor, because we really need to stretch these muscles here. Through all the work that we did from just general life stuff, it's very important that we take some time to stretch these out. So we'll do 60 seconds per side, and we are going to hold this together so that we get one solid set in. That being said, if you have time, or if you want to make time rather, to do more than one set, give yourself another 5-10 minutes to go through more than one set of these stretches. The more that you do, the more you're going to get out of them. So if you have time, you can come back and complete another set, 2 sets, maybe even 3 sets of this minute-long hold on any of these ones. It's going to give you a little bit more out of it. So we'll breathe into this, again, working with the pelvic tilt, taking your hips and tilting them under like this. And we'll hold that there. And we have about 10 more seconds to a minute. Hopefully you're feeling a little looser in the front of your hip. We are going to switch sides, and I'm actually going to turn around so I can still hold on over here. So we've also talked about this one being done in a standing position, which is just comes down to comfort. Some of us just don't like kneeling on our kneecap like this. That's completely fine. You can do that standing like this, same stretch, just different positioning. So we'll hold that there 1 minute. Whatever you do, we'll just keep it even on both sides. Okay, so we'll hold this. I'm going to go through 2 more stretches with you guys. So we have about 20 seconds left in this one. Oh, and this one feels nice. We'll never be mad about having to do this one. Really, all of these stretches all feel quite nice. Okay, so as we are coming out of that one, if you've started with me, that has been a minute. We will go into this next one, which is for our lower back. Hands and knees, we'll round our back, lifting our spine up to the ceiling. We'll arch our back, pushing our ribs down to the floor. Doing that 2 to 3 times just to loosen everything up. Oh, it feels so nice. You can look up towards the ceiling as you push the tummy down towards the floor. So again, 2 to 3, and then we'll sit on the heels, walk our fingertips away, and we will hang out here for about 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Woo! So another one that feels so good, okay, but maybe not if you have sensitive knees. If you don't feel so good sitting in this very bent knee position, you can find yourself a chair, or look at this, a bookcase, and you can do this like this, and then it just doesn't bend your knees much, okay? You can also do this one standing if you need to. And we will hold this here for about 10 more seconds. We have 1 more stretch that we are going to do together that will be important to do. It's for your glutes, the back of your hips. So you can come out of that one and finish joining me in this last one here, which is this one. So I'm going to bend up my heel put it right on top of my opposite knee like this, focusing the stretch on this side over here. And I position myself by this bookcase. I have my foot on the bookshelf like this. You can also just pull in your leg like this, but I like having my foot up. This is just kind of a little lazier You can just kind of sit in it without having to like pull it in or anything like that. So we'll hang out here for a minute per side, and then I will let you guys be free to go. Okay, but this is a very good one to do after all of that glute work that we did. We did a lot of work for the back of our hips, back of our legs, and this is going to help loosen all that up. So we'll hold this here. Again, should feel some tension, some stretching in this leg over here. And hold it for about 10 more seconds. It feels so nice. Breathing into them. And we will switch sides. Again, if you join me, you can switch with me. Stay here a little longer if you'd like. So we'll hold this last side for a minute. Now, as we're holding this last side here again, if you would like, you can come back and do another set of any of those ones that we did. Or maybe you want to incorporate some other stretches. The bow and arrow one, where we kind of go like this. Oof, you guys know that one feels so nice, where we kind of cross over like that. So you can do that. So you can stretch out your upper body. Okay, but you're going to hang out down there for about 20 more seconds. And then you are going to be done, okay? But you guys are done with me. So thank you so much. So nice to be back. Yay. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then the next day. And then the next day. And then it's Christmas. So that's crazy. But anyways, hopefully you guys have a great productive day. You get lots of stuff done. And I will see you guys tomorrow after here. Have a great day. Hope you feel good. Bye, you guys. Thanks for joining me in the Zoom room. And if you did watch the replay, please drop a comment below so I know you were here. Bye, you guys. Catch you later.